That's right, Christine. The Bellevue Police Department has now confirmed that this is an officer-involved shooting that happened here at the Bellevue Transit Center, where you can see there are police vehicles still in kind of a holding pattern right now as they wait for the county's force investigation team to come out here. So while we still don't have our on-the-record briefing in front of the camera yet, we can tell you that it was around 1:30 or so where there was some kind of a call to the Bellevue Transit Center, or maybe a request for assistance, that kind of thing. An officer came out here. We don't know what transpired after that. We don't know the nature of the call. We don't know what happened next. We don't know the nature of the injuries, but we're told that an officer and a suspect were injured in whatever encounter happened. They have both been taken to the hospital. We don't know their condition. And we know that a lot of police officers are now here at the Bellevue Transit Center, which is shut down really and having a big impact on transit on a Friday afternoon. And we do expect to get an on-camera briefing as to what happened in the future, but we don't know how long that's going to take because there is an independent force investigation team that comes out for these kind of investigations, and there may be some protocols before somebody gets out here in front of a camera and tells us exactly what happened. But an officer injured, a suspect injured, we don't know how gravely they're injured. They're at the hospital being evaluated now, is our understanding, and we expect to get more information later.
Chris, you know, it's good to get that confirmed. We have been seeing reports of that, so thank you for confirming that. We follow a lot of officer-involved shootings, and just from your experience, you're seeing the scale of this investigation happening right there. It seems to be a very, very big police response. Does that give you a sense of how, obviously any officer-involved shooting is very, very serious, but this gives you an idea of the scale of this investigation?
It does, and you know, we're in a very public area, Christine. I think that's one thing you have to remember. I mean, we're right across from City Hall. We're at the major transportation hub for this one of the largest cities in the state of Washington. So it's a very busy area, and there are a lot of officers here, and I'm sure the response was tremendous because we now know that it was an officer-involved shooting. So in my experience, it's not uncommon when an officer is involved in a shooting to have a big call out. A lot of officers show up. They're always sure. There's plenty of personnel on the scene. Now everybody's kind of in a holding pattern because there is an independent force investigation team whose mission is to investigate situations exactly like this.
Chris, you know, as we stand by for more information directly from police, I know you're standing by as well. We here at King 5 and Soto, you made it out to Bellevue real quick. What was it like trying to get to that area? Because we know that the surrounding streets and the roads are closed at the Bellevue Transit Center. So can you give us a sense of what the surrounding traffic situation might be around that area if people are wanting to head over there?
Sure. I mean, you know, just as a an explanation of where we came to get in here, it was a little bit difficult because so much is blocked off. So here's Northeast 6th. This is 1/10 that's down at the end of the road, and that's blocked off at 4th. And then if you go down this way, you can see on Northeast 6th here, traffic is being routed down on this side, you know, down 6th Street, or people are turning around like that. So, and then at the far end of the Bellevue Transit Center, and frankly, I'm not that familiar with that end, so I'm not sure what's down there, but it's shut down as well. And Jose, I don't know how far your camera can get down there, but there are numerous police officers that are here in the foreground, and then in the background, there's a couple more patrol vehicles with officers out looking at things, and then you've got some officers walking here. And then we do know now that this shooting, officer-involved shooting, happened out here somewhere in the plaza area. So this is a major area that's shut down. The roads around here, Christine, from my view driving in here, they weren't that bad. But again, we're just getting into rush hour now.
Not only rush hour, but also of my understanding from looking at the map, we're not terribly far, that area, the transit center is not terribly far from the shopping centers and the mall. I can imagine it's a Friday afternoon heading into the weekend. I can imagine there might be some traffic and some people heading in that direction. So good information to know. Chris, do you have a sense of when you might be able to hear from Bellevue PD with an update?
No, and we got this little bit of information from the department, and they were very clear that they were working on trying to get somebody in front of the camera to explain things a little more. But there are these protocols because there's an independent team that has to come and start gathering information, and so we don't know how long that process is going to take.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Chris Singles. I know you have to do some gathering as well. We'll check back in with you in just a moment. We appreciate the very latest updates.